Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome back to another Magic the Gathering online league. We're back with Eldrazi ramp on the draw for game one. Our opponent was last seen playing Neo Brand, which I am not thrilled about. Alright, we pass in full. Cavern of Souls, naming Merfolk. Naming Beast. The what? Is this Titan? No, it's Trudge. Okay, so we're gonna go for Cake Man on this Trudge. We'll go Temple and pass. We hold. Fight Rigging is 3 mana. Well, shit. Fight Rigging is 3 mana. However, well, I guess it's on Beast. We'll draw Talisman. Let's hold K command X equals 1. So this is Fight Rigging. Forest. Paying cost. Rumble will resolve. Sees GSC, Trudge, Fight Rigging. Beginning of combat, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Then if you control a creature, so it's then with power 7 or greater. So we do have to do it. Choose Fight Rigging. So I do have that primed. I'm going to ramp and Scrydraw, ramp and exile. Hmm. Let's ramp and Scrydraw to start. There's Stomping Ground, bottom, draw, sprawl, draw, sprawl. So in that case, we will sprawl for green. And then my thought here is to go Talisman into Sprawl. Another thought could be Myco into Ghost Core, but doesn't cut off that. I think we might just hold back then. Could go Talisman, hold back Sprawl, use Sprawl as mana neutral next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll go Talisman, and then just hold the K command. X equals 1/2 as needed. So they can play the Fight Rigging, they can target the Trudge. Hideaway 5. It's a 6/6. They would need to grow it. Fight Rigging, target Trudge. In response, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll ramp and exile the Trudge. And done. Yield all. Trudge down. Fight Rigging fails. We'll pass. So we need to get rid of the Fight Rigging. 1 in hand. And Myco number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 -4 would be 4, so we can't go Myco. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so we can either go Break or Devour. I think we go for Devour target Fight Rigging, though Breaker might be better here, as Devour has more agency over creatures, which you might want to do some creature removal. So let's start with Sprawl. for green. And then we will go Breaker. Breaker will break, target the fight rigging, yield all. Fight rigging's down, exiles. It stays unknown. Good to know. So we don't know what they hid away. We'll hold 2 cards in hand. Casting. Mycospawn kicked. Can hit my forest, yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I am short one of the kicked Myco. Grabs Temple. We'll draw Myco. I think my best bet here is to Myco number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to go Ghost Quarter. Ghost Quarter target lab. So Sire down. We'll go to combat, swing for 5. No blocks, down to 15. Is this another Myco? It is another Myco, another kick, which does actually mean we're off of Myco next turn. They will hide away for 10 or greater is required. So we do need some lands here. We'll draw Ice Till, short 1. We will go to combat and swing for 8. We'll pass. They'll have to block next turn. Is this the Trudge? That will give them enough power for the bridge, which is concerning. So that is 12 power, Hideaway. What did you find? Rumble? That's pretty okay. Chooses a Sire, of course. Attack for 6. Would make sense to do so now, I'd imagine. Chooses not to. Bog is not well timed, but we will bog you. Cyrus 7 death is a problem, but we can deal with that later. We'll pass. No attacks. And pass. So here comes Sire. Lab. No imprint, I'd imagine. Sprawl. We'll sprawl for double green. Ice Till. Ghost Quarter Mill. Ghost Quarter target Temple. I imagine you run a decent number of basics. Ghost Quarter Mill. Commercial District. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. We'll hold back on the Ghost Quarter, I think, and pass. No attacks. We'll hold. Yeah, I don't know how many basics they run. 2 mana. Looks like K command. Nope, Devour. Targets the Ice Till. Ice Till is down. Is there a world where I want to Ghost Quarter my own land right now? I don't think there is. That will resolve. Magic attack for 7. Yep, that's fine. We'll take the 7 down to 12. You're up to 14. I'd like a land here. We'll draw Verdant Catacomb. We'll Verdant Cat fetch for a forest and Myco Kick. Myco Kick. Let's get rid of your Cavernous Souls. Cut them down on color sources for their K commands. Nothing really in Yard that we want for Shifting Woodland. Instead, we'll go for Sanctum of Ugin. I think that might be right. Devour targets Trudge. Because we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11. The problem is we'd then be short of the Emrakul. So I'm going to start with Temple here. Because it means we could play Emrakul next turn. We'll pass. Again, we won't block the Sire. We just need enough bodies on board. Interesting. So, in this case, I'll block here. That's 13, though, so I do have to block here regardless. Yes. That is fine. Why didn't you attack in at the Myco spawns as well? Didn't you have lethal? Or am I crazy? If you attacked the Myco spawns here, you had lethal, right? Weird. But okay. I mean, I guess we could... No matter what, we lose both Mycos. I can't get rid of both bodies. Yeah, we'll do this. Down to 4, up to 21. Devour is out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Disciple of Freya-Lise sacrifices a Myco spawn, draws 3, gains 3. Lab. No imprint. Land. Cavernous Souls, name Eldrazi. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 minus 2 is 7, which allows us to Myco spawn and Devour. Yes. So we will cast Myco spawn non-kicked. Trigger. We'll grab Temple. Devour of Destiny. Target Trudge. Pass. No attacks. We'll pass. Do I survive this turn? Yes, I do. You can attack all out. I'll eat 1 creature, though, as a result. But you'll also eat 1 of mine as well. I want that to be Breaker, however. We're not dead yet, but damn, are we getting close? They have a K command, they win here. But again, they should have won last turn, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the double kicked Mega Spawn was rough. Opponent casting K command X5 does get them the game, yes. Since they misplayed last time, let's see if they misplay this time. Mega Spawn down, 2 top, 3 bottom draw. And all they need to do is attack all out. Yep, I will concede. Alright, let's move to game 2. So, I forget if they play Aeon's Torn or Promised End. Regardless, Cavern of Souls out, Gemstone out, K Return out, Esper Origins can go. So, Magus probably no. Vexing Bauble, Flute. I guess Magus does stop the Hideaway land. We could also tax them with Trinisphere. Trim and Ugin. Maybe Ice Till can get dropped. If we drop Ice Till, I guess we can bring in Heat. Let's do this. Yeah, we just need to accelerate a little bit faster than we did last game. I'll keep it. Not my favorite, but it is workable. Opponent mulligans down to 6. Double K command is nice. We also could Trinisphere on 2. If they play Trudge on 1, we can just K command it instead. We'll lab, imprint, cast, and pass. I will say one card I am thinking about playing over the Esper Origins might be Fanatic of Ronus. It is a consideration, since it does accelerate where Esper Origins does not on the turn after it's played. Exiles 3, Emrakul the Promised End, so keeping the Bajuga Bog is still correct. This is Trudge. GSC for Dryad Arbor. If we find a land, I am going to Unholy Heat and Trinisphere and pass and pass. Tapped, passing, draw Myco. We'll hold K command X2 and then kick next turn to keep them off under sphere. There's Temple. Fight rigging is fine. Hideaway 5. And let's go to end step. K command X equals 2. Done. Ghost Quarter, Commercial District. Commercial District, no. I'll say Ghost Quarter, yes. We'll draw Shifting Wood. We'll play the Ghost Quarter and Myco Kick. Myco Kick Temple. We'll then grab Temple. This way we can hold up K command X equals 2 and exile Trudge if needed. Otherwise, we'll pocket the K command. There's second Temple. Casting GSC2. GSC2 will resolve. There's the Trudge, targets, in response. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I will scry draw exile the Trudge. And done. But we'll scoop it up, we'll take the win. Let's go to sideboard. Bring in Gemstone, trim Rumble, run it back. Yeah, so the key of this matchup definitely is removal, removal, removal. At the very least, that or disruption. I mean, Vexing Bobble's also very strong here. Flute naming, Fight Rigging's also an option, just to delay. Though they have some decent ways of accelerating between Dryad Arbor, GSC, Fanatic of Ronas, etc. I definitely think overall Fight Rigging's a little bit too cute just because Hideaway is so heavily impacted by Vexing Bauble, which is heavily played in the current meta. But like it can definitely be, I don't know. Fight Rigging reminds me of Eldrazi aggro, where in many ways it just wants to be Eldrazi ramp, but kind of worse. We keep this for sure. I will keep Opponent will mulligan. I think I want to pocket the Sire rather than Devour because the Devour can hit creatures and can hit Fight Rigging, where Sire really is just about beating face, right? I will reveal Devour and pass. Freya Lease Bolt 17 for Trudge. GSC 0 for Dryad Arbor. Okay. Devour trigger. We see Speaker, but do not have a green source. So as much as I would like Speaker, I think Speaker is a trap here. I will instead go Wooded Foothill. So I think we will start with... Normally I'd start with Lab, but I think we start with Temple. Temple, Bauble, pass. And pass. So Fight Rigging's off the Temple until they dispatch Bauble. There's Rumble. K command out. There's Trudge, Countersoul's Freya Lease. Chooses Cavernous Souls. Naming Beast or Eldrazi. Naming Raccoon. Okay. There's Rumble. Love to see it. This is where I'm playing the lab. Actually may have been better in retrospect. I'll go Forest, Rumble. I wanted to see Myco spawn. Thank you. And I will pass and hold. So next turn we can Myco kick. Hit Cavernous Souls just to kind of cut them down on colorless sources. And then probably go Devour and Devour the Dryad Arbor. Opponent will attack for 1. Nope. So this is probably K command X equals 3. We'll lab, imprint Sire. I will then Myco spawn. Kick. Kick target Cavernous Souls. Yield all. Do you have the K command X equals 3 like I think you do? I think we just go with Temple here instead of for Breaker, Devour, or Sire as needed. We'll go Temple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, 10. So we should be fine from Emrakul. Though my concern here is a kicked MTGO next turn. X equals 3. Rampant Scry draw. Next turn we will Bojuka Bog regardless. Bobble still has fight rigging under lock. So my only concern here, I think, is MTGO. 2 top, 1 bottom draw. We hold. Land for turn. Passing. Could be another K command. We'll draw. There's Trinisphere. I can't eat my cake and have, or I can't make my cake and eat it too. No, I can't eat my cake and have it too. Yada, yada, yada. So Trinisphere is off the table. They could be set up for a K command. X equals 5. Let's start by going to combat. Attack with MTGO. Though I guess if he wanted to get the K command out, we should have breakered first. Regardless, I will breaker. Breaker target. We'll go Garden of Freyalise. Paying cost for Force of Vigor. Ooh, okay. So they might be setting up after all. Freyalise down. And we will Bojuka Bog target you. So no K command, which is good. But they do have the potential for fight rigging here. But that has a fail rate, so I'm kind of okay. We'll see. GSE 1 for Trudge. Here comes the fight rigging. So the question is what they find off the top. If they find Promised End, things get complicated. But not horribly, based on what's in our hand. Oh, actually, the Breaker does complicate things, because they can suicide it in. Yeah, that's what they find. Second fight rigging, so this is fine. Because now we can dispatch fight rigging with Devour. Oh, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We are 1 short, unfortunately. So we are simply going to dispatch the fight rigging. No reason to worry about the Trudge right now. So no matter what, fight rigging's down. Opponent goes, you could never guess what I put under fight rigging. We'll attack for 8. Oh, another fight rigging, Jesus. Down to 3. Lethal's on board. Rumble. Sees another fight rigging. Ooh. Oh, this is problematic. Chooses fight rigging. Alright, what do they find with the second fight rigging? Fight rigging triggers. Targeting Slumbering, targeting Arbor. And they find the Promised End, so we're actually still alive, and opponent's still dead on board. Because, yes, they can Breaker Slam into Emrakul, sacrifice my lands, but that still leaves 2 attackers on board for lethal. So opponent still loses here. Yeah, they don't have a solution to the current board state. Unless they have, like, free removal, which I doubt they have. So this is GG's, opponent says GG's, good games. Solid wins. Alright, well, we'll be back for match number 2. Alright, we're back for match 2 on the play for game 1. I will keep. We're looking for acceleration off Devour. Looking for Talisman. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. What are you looking for here? You don't have a path forward to Myco Kick, do we? On 3? On 2. Oh, no, we do. Yeah, so Talisman, Rumble, Sprawl. So we'll trigger. Let me take a look. K command. There's Sprawl, so we will take Sprawl. All Lab Imprint. Devour's more likely to be cast rather than Emrakul based on the current hand. People do ask me whether or not I'm preferring Tron or... That's fine. You can take a Myco Spawn. Tron or E-Ramp. I mean, I do just prefer the play pattern of E-Ramp to Tron. Well, I find it more interactive. I also find E-Ramp, there's more room for experimentation by comparison, right? Do you have a force? I'll go double green and pass. Yeah, so I just like that there's more room for experimentation in E-Ramp than Tron. Tron, it feels like you have, I don't know, 5 flex slots and that's it. Are we playing against... So Thoughtseize, Esper Colors feels like Goryo's? Is this Frog? Yeah. I mean, if they have Goryo's target Goryos, they're in a good spot. Alright. Let's go kicked Myco Spawn, take out a blue source. And do we go Temple for the Devour? I think so. The alternative option would be Sanctum, so that way we can Devour, Sanctum trigger, grab a Myco Spawn, grab another Devour, what have you. Sanctum's not a bad thought, honestly. I might go Sanctum. Because, yeah, I think we do go Sanctum. Let's go Sanctum. The benefit of Sanctum here is it allows me to line up my next play, whereas just going to another Temple, we're playing off the top. So I think Sanctum's correct here. Another thought would be Cavern Souls to guarantee resolution. But we'll see. This could be... I was going to say Riddler. Looks like we're just going to float Frog first. We'll take 1 down to 17. They draw up to 5 cards in hand. If this is Goryo's, they could have Consign. For that reason... So, if they have Consign in hand, we'll have 3 things on the stack if we go Devour. Sanctum, the body, and the cast trigger. We could alternatively go Speaker, Pitch, Sprawl. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. For 4 mana, our main option would be Myco Spawn, but we wouldn't have immediate follow-up. I think just go Devour here and force them to burn Consign if they have it. Sanctum, yes. I will grab the Myco Spawn frog out. They chose not to pitch. We'll attack now. Do you have Solitude pitch Ephem? Down to 9. Lethal's on board. Is this Faithful Mending? It is. So Faithful Mending, draw 2, discard 2, gain 2. Lethal's no longer on board. So they not have a Goryo's target or not have Goryo's in hand? I guess that's the question. I imagine if they had a Goryo's target, they would have pitched it to Frog. They would have pitched it there, so we should be in a decent position. Thoughtseize will take Mycospawn to avoid the kick. So we'll likely go Speaker, but opponent will scoop it up. We'll take the win against Goryo's in game 1. Alright. Let's go to sideboard. So we want Jailer in, K return out, Bajuka, Countersoul stay. They do run only a few basics, so there's some thought to going Ghost Quarter, but we can cut the Ice still. We'll trim Rumble, Esper Origins, and an Ugin, bring in Flute. I don't think there's a world where we're bringing Dismember, but Bauble, yes. And then we have room for 2 for Heat, and run it back. Yeah, I'm definitely thinking maybe a second Jailer wouldn't be a bad idea, given the number of Goryos I play against. Do we care about Bauble on 1? No, I don't think I do, but it depends on what we see off Devour, I suppose. Opponent goes down to 5, which is promising. I think we want to accelerate into Speaker to, yeah, we want to accelerate Speaker to Jailer. Reveal Devour and pass. So I think I like this route. Pitching Emrakul to Speaker. Devour will trigger. You find Rumble Speaker and Sanctum. I do like Sanctum as right now. My sequencing, I think, goes Forest Sprawl, Lab, Speaker, Bauble, pitching Emrakul, or another draw. So the cast window of this Rumble feels pretty off right now. So I think we're going to go Sanctum, go Forest, Sprawl. They could force it, but doubtful that they do based on 4 cards in hand. We go greener for red. Red for heat is relevant. We'll go red and pass. Polluted Delta. Fetch 19, Surveil. Okay. Solitude to Yard will pass. Marsh Flats. Paying cost for Prismatic Ending on Sprawl. Yep. Finds a forest. We'll still Lab, Imprint, Devour. Cast Speaker. Does Speaker resolve? Speaker resolves. I'll pitch Emrakul and pick up Soulish Jailer and pass. Marsh Flats fetch 18, Surveil. Keeps it on top, will pass. Flooded Strand. Passing. I'll play Sanctum. Cast Bauble. I'll then go to combat. Swing with Speaker. Down to 16. Play Jailer and pass. Flooded Strand fetch 15. Surveil. We'll hold. I'd love to see Mike go off top here so we can kick. 4 cards in hand. Casting Riddler. Riddler draws 1. Do you have Ephem? Goes to end step, trigger, warp. Warps away. Potentially holding consign. They're shifting, but we don't have delirium. I'll still play the shifting, the primate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Next turn we do have devour. Opponent will take 2 down to 13. We'll hold. 5 cards in hand. And 1 warped Riddler in exile. What say you, opponent? Yeah, I'd love for you to tap out and play something I can exile to devour, but if you don't, I'm kind of fine with just beating you in the face of a 2-4 as well. Admittedly. White, blue is a warped Riddler. No, it's prismatic ending on the jailer. Jailer is exiled. Paying cost for Thoughtseize, sees Devour. Devour's out. At this point, I will pass. Draws Bauble. I'll play the Forest. I will play second Bauble. Likely just crack it next turn. We'll go to combat. Down to 9. Keeping in mind we have lethal on board if this shifting woodland gets turned on, since they can't play through Bauble with Solitude unless they can sign the Bauble trigger. So yeah, I'd love to find a way to get Delirium right now. Opponent's paying cost or not. I'm going to crack a Bauble, draw a card. There's K command. I'm going to Rampant Scry draw. And here's the funny part. If you can sign this, or even if you don't, I have Delirium. Draws into a temple. We're going to Shifting Wood, target Emrakul. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to do this. And opponent scoops it up, we'll take the win. Thank you, Shifting Woodland. All right. Well, we'll be back for match number 3. All right, we're back for match 3 on the draw for game 1. Bloodstainmire, pass, Shifting Woodland. So I did say I wanted a green source here, but we're gonna go with Temple and hope we find another green source, a different green source, because we'd prefer to K command X2 on 2. Sewer Surveil keeps it on top, we'll hold. Polluted Delta, passing. Draw Mycospawn, go Temple, pass. Polluted Delta, fetch 18. Okay, so it looks like Reanimator at a glance. Abhorrent Oculus in yard. They do sometimes play a 2/0 Spell Pierce. There's the Unearth. Do we ramp and exile cards in yard? I think so. Do we? So the answer is I want to, so that way if we draw into a green source we can Mycospawn, but maybe I do Scry draw exile instead. Exile 2 and pray you don't have a Spell Pierce. You do not. We do find a green source. We find Rumble. Let's top draw and pass. 2 Emperor Bones. Emperor Bones eats the K command. Makes sense to me. We'll play the Forest. I'm thinking... Ooh, well, so I want to Rumble, but this Emperor Bones is actually a bit concerning in that regard. I am going to cast Speaker. Speaker will pitch... Speaker or Sprawl? We accelerate Sprawl next turn to any Woodland Sprawl, so I think I'm going to pitch Speaker, then maybe Ice Till's better here. I'm going to pitch Ice Till and grab Devour of Destiny. And pass. And pass. Yeah, I'd like to dispatch Bones if possible. Thought Scour, target self, hits Island Persist. Thought Seize, target me, sees Devour, Mycospawn Rumble, takes Devour. So in that case, we'll pivot to Myco Kick. Do we go for the red source or the blue source? Probably the blue source here. Bones will eat Devour. Makes sense. End step, draw Lab. Shifting Woodland. Sprawl. For red or for green? I will go... I'm going to go green here. I'm then going to Myco Kick. No reason to... Well, I say there's no reason to Bojuka Bog, but there is actually a reason to Bojuka Bog. Let's cancel for a second. So we can Rumble, then untap, then kick Bojuka Bog, keep him off an Oculus in hand. I will Rumble. You find Mycospawn, Temple, K command, take Mycospawn. We're going to untap. Kick Myco. Myco Kick, hit the blue source, yield all. Bojuka Bog, target you. This way you can't play Oculus from hand if you find another blue source. Black, push, target Myco, sure. We'll pass. You could swing at me for 10 next turn. Emperor Bones will eat Ice Till, maybe? Choose Mycospawn. Paying cost, adapt for Devour. Swing for 10, down to 10. This is fine. Yep. We'll draw into Ghost Quarter. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So what I can do here is cast Speaker. Speaker will pitch Lab, grab Emrakul, untap the Forest, and cast Emrakul. Alright, our turn, comrade. Let's see what we're working with. There's the Oculus in hand. Cool. There's Emperor Bones. So we can go next. So this is Reanimator. And for game 1, let's move to game 2. So we're going to want Jailer. We're going to want Flute. Bojuka Bog. Camera Souls isn't as necessary. Ghost Quarter out. Origin, Rumble out. Magus, no. Bauble, no. Heat and Dismember are in the conversation, though. So I'm thinking return out. And they sometimes do run Fulminator Mage. But I think we cut out Ice Till until we get verification of that post board. So we see it, then we know for game 3. I will keep. Opponent mulligans down to 6. I'm thinking, do we want to imprint Devour or Breaker? I'm feeling Devour, but I think I want to imprint Breaker so we can theoretically accelerate into Devour to target, let's say, a frog. Though there's a non-zero chance we get Thoughtseized here. Speaking of, 19 Steam Vents, not Thoughtseize, looting instead. Oculus Archon Devour trigger finds Myco spawn. Lab Imprint Breaker, cast Talisman and pass. And hold. Please don't persist on 2. Is that a persist or a frog? That is a persist. So Archon. Oh, creature land is 2. Alternatively, we can pitch Heat, play Myco to accelerate, and try and get to Devour. Yeah, it's probably the right move. Heat out. Down to 17, we'll draw. Second Myco. We'll Misty Fetch for a forest. Myco, non-kicked. Grab Temple and pass. So when they attack, we'll pitch the Myco and then lab into Devour, exiling the Archon. Looting, draw 2, discard 2, discards Emperor Bones, Abhorrent Oculus, fetches a Bloodstained Mire. Do you have another persist? You have an Unearth. Push. Interesting. Unearth. Okay. The push was weird. The push was unnecessary. Pitch Myco. So we'll go down to 8. Ock trigger. We are going to need follow-up. That is very much not follow-up. We will Devour Archon and pass. So we'll take 5 down to 3. So I need either a 7-mana value spell that I can imprint to cast Breaker to block the Ock, Looting Flashback, or I need something to exile Oculus, or I need something to... I mean, that's kind of it. I either need a Reach Blocker or to exile Oculus. Oculus connects down to 3, end step Oculus trigger and draw. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is not a solution. I will concede. Alright, let's go sideboard. So we'll bring back in the Rumble, got the Gemstone, and run it back. On the play for game 3. I'll keep. We have a decent number of cards off the top here. We'll play Temple and pass. And hold. Steam Vent Shock 18. There's looting. Looting, pitching Archon and Oculus. So I think I might need to flute here and name persist. flute. Name persist. Because Unearth we can deal with the Ock long term. The R combo is a bit of a different story. Watergrave Shock 15 for Unearth. That's fine. Again, we can deal with the Ock better than we deal with the Archon. Trigger. Draw Sprawl. So this is 5, 6, 7. So I think I'm going to go MTGO. Hopefully you don't have Consign. You have Consign? So that's a little bit concerning that we've even seen that. Because we could Bojuka Bog here to keep him off of the persist line. Though, now that I'm seeing the possibility of a Consign, it might be better for me to go Cavern of Souls to guarantee the resolution of the body of Worldbreaker instead. Alternatively, you can always go Sanctum of Ugin. But I think I need to guarantee the body, so I'm going to go Cavern of Souls and name Eldrazi. Well, at this point, pass. And pass. I would normally want to go Sprawl here, but given that there's the possibility of Spell Pierce, that is a problem though. So we are going to actually have to go Sprawl Red, Heat the Bones. Ock Trigger draws. Devour. Okay, so we can do that instead. I go for red. And we are still going to devour Bones. Bones is out. I truly do think exiling your Bones target without being able to adapt on the turn is objectionably incorrect. I think it's a bit greedy. We'll take 5 down to 10. Go to end step. Ock will trigger. We'll draw flute. I will cast Breaker. Breaker will break Watery Grave. Blue, do you have Consign for the trigger? There's the Consign for the trigger. I'm debating whether or not we want to attack here. I think we need to start applying pressure. So I'll attack with Devour. You could triple block. Blue Delta to Yard. Push, target Myco. There was that concern, but it is what it is. Black, target C, or C's target me takes heat. We're surprised we took flute. Really? That is surprising. I forgot that it has reach. Unless you have a heat? Nope, opponent scoops it up. They, in fact, forgot it had reach. Sneaky reach for the win. Alright, we'll be back for match number 4. Alright, and we're back for match 4 on the play for game 1. I'll keep. I'd love to see a 7 value spell here. Commercial District Surveil, Sire Top, and pass. And pass. Island, Aether Vial, so likely Merfolk. Lab, Imprint, Cast, and pass. Aether Vial, tick up. Waterloo Grove, passing draw. Seize a forest, cast Ice Till. Play Temple Mill, Sire, or Mega Sponty Yard, Forest Mill, and pass 2 for Drowner. Taps the Ice Till, Aether Vial will tick up. So for 2, they could shuffle away the Ice Till. Class Pull tapped, attack for 2, down to 17. Aether Vial brings in a Hex Catcher for 3, down to 16. We'll draw Speaker. So let us start with Speaker. Speaker pitch bog. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, I'm pretty sure if a Cyrus 7 death lands, they just lose outright. Though I have to recognize the possibility that they toss out something like a Harbinger next turn. So I think going Mycospawn might be correct. Let's go Myco. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I actually am going to cast the Myco now. And there is some method to my madness. Because now we can grab Camersouls, name Eldrazi, and line up for the Sire next turn. Aether Vial will tick up to 3. Mutavault, casting Harbinger. Yep. No attacks. We'll draw. Play the Temple. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And K return. Aether Vial in. For Force Pitch. Cast a non-creature spell. With 1 or blue symbols, create that many blue merfolk. Damn. Okay. And the force is relevant, because that means now it's not in yard for me to recast. Oofda. I guess I should have held up our... That's a X5. Go to blocks. Oh, as... hold on. Do you have Island Walk? Oh, yeah, flying. Alright, we'll concede. Yeah, I guess we could have held up K return on their turn in response to the Harbinger, but then they could have just sacrificed the Hex Catcher, the tax it. Alright. I appreciate you if you're a kid. They say enjoy my channel, watch your stuff on the drive to work on my LGS. I'm a Tron player on the side. Alright, so Bog is out, Countersoul stays, Ghost Quarter's out, Gemstone out, K Return can stay, Heat Dismember, Bauble, Trim and Ugin, Origins. We can probably cut the Ice Till actually keeping the Ugin. Yes, let's run it back like this. On the play for game 2, keep, not my favorite, but it's workable. Play a forest, pass, and pass. Island, Aether Vial. We'll draw Myco. I'm going to go Rumble. Do you have a force? You do have a force, pitching Sink. I was hoping for the Rumble to resolve so we could find land and accelerate for the Myco, but no such luck. Second Island, second Aether Vial, passing draw, Sprawl. For green or for red? We'll go red. Cast Talisman. And hold heat. Aether Vials will trigger. 3 in hand. Spark Springs Bolt for Submariner. Mariner will resolve. We'll draw Myco Spawn. Kick, target, yield all. I will grab Cavernous Souls, name Eldrazi, and pass. We'll pass. Yeah, the fact this has fly is actually really relevant. Aether Vial in. There's Harbinger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. K command. I'm going to kick again. Kick target the island. So no consign, it would seem. I will grab Temple. Go to combat. Swing for 3. And pass. Aether Vial in. Second Harbingers. We're not getting from underneath. Oh, that's so unfortunate. That is 8 damage. So lethal's on board as it stands. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Do I have a solution? Yes. Yes, I do. So I will kick. So the card here is Namor the Submariner. It has flying and power equal to the number of Merfolk you control. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell with 1 or more blue mana symbols, create that many 1/1 blue Merfolk. Seems pretty good. So we are going to go Myco kick, hit your last island, yield all. I'm then going to play another temple, and then heat you. So this is 3 damage in the air. We need to apply pressure here so that they fear the crackback enough or they're going to have to block. So we can block, take 5 down to 5, but then there'd be lethal on board. So we're going to swing for 6 to push you to 8 for lethal range. Aether Vials will trigger. They have 1 card in hand. Keeps it at 2/3. Spurific Springs for trio. No attacks. Second K command. So if we were to attack all out, they would block. And then they wouldn't have to block. That still might be correct. That's Brainstorm, but they have to tap 2 untapped creatures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we could play Speaker, grab Myco as another blocker. So yeah, I think we do attack all in. Force them into some potential blockers, if not this turn, then next, and just basically play aggressive. Yeah, I think this has to be the correct play. Play Speaker, pitch K command, grab Myco, ramp, and then we can set up for K command the turn after. And if by some reason they block with the Harbingers, we just win. Alright, they'll take 6 down to 2. We'll get a second main here. Let's see. I think we have to tap like this. Speaker. Speaker, pitch, K command. Grab Myco. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cast Myco. We're gonna hold back a red source just to represent that we could have heat. And grab another temple. Alright. When we have the blockers, let's see what they draw. Be a close one. So they could theoretically brainstorm, make a Merfolk. They're gonna pass. We're gonna draw. There's Breaker. So I have some options then. If we can just K command get rid of a creature, then we would be able to win, potentially, because they could still technically brainstorm, but they'd have to tap 2 things. So I think we want to K command. Well, actually, no. If we K command, we have to tap the speaker, right? So in that case, I might just want to attack in with the Mycos here. Yeah, let's start with that. Let's attack with the Mycos. This forces 3 blocks. Nope, you stay back. I can't win this turn. But if they go to block, then prepare, I can exile the Harmonized trio before they can brainstorm, is the thought. Because we tap, untap, K command for X equals 1. Aether Vial in. What does Aether Vial bring in, is the question. Hex Catcher is relevant. That will grow the board. Okay. I mean, this means you trade with the Mycos. You block with the Hex Catcher. Do you tap to prepare the Harmonizer prior to damage? That's what I need to figure out. Because if you do, we're going to want to K command it. Okay. Let's go to damage. There it is. So it will become prepared. In response, we're going to tap, then untap the talisman. I'm then going to be able to K command X equals 1. That'll leave me with 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll need a K command ramp and exile. Ramp, exile, exile you. Stop you from brainstorming. Yes. I guess we could go deeper. Yeah, we'll ramp an exile like this. And, well, so I'm just trying to think here. I would like blockers on board. Because they could just Hexcatcher, sacrifice the things that are going to die anyways on the block so they can tax me for at least 2. They wouldn't dare sacrifice the Harbinger, but they might sacrifice the Hexcatcher, so they might need to just hold up 3. Okay, so I think here's what I'm going to have to do is X equals 1 and do it like this, because if they for some reason sacrifice the Harbinger... Oh, I need the green though, if they don't. That's so awkward. Ramp, exile. Yeah, I think I have to do it like this then. So we're going to need at least 3 mana. Right now this is X equals 2. That's 5. We can tap 1 more for 3. And if they go sacrifice, 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 we can pay the 3, but if they go for the 4th one, then we wouldn't have enough. So I think X equals 2 is enough. Yeah. So, yep, fails. Damage. Second main. Second main, do we go after the Aether Vial or the land? We can block the Namor. The Aether Vial might be the right choice, because right now we fear a Lord. So we take out the X equals 2 Aether Vial, because right now they have +1/+1, but not Island Walk. Take out the Aether Vial and pass. So again, now we can block the Namor, and when we attack in, they'll be forced to block the board. One in hand, we'll draw, second breaker. So I suppose we can get the Aether Vial out of the way, but by playing this, we could play into a consign. So instead, let's go to combat first, forcing them to block. We'll attack with all. They have to block all 3. And no matter what, they'll lose the Hexcatcher. And if they lose the Hexcatcher, they lose the Harbinger. So the only thing that should remain standing is the Namor. They can trade with Mycospawn, kill the Speaker, and Hexcatcher will die. Yep, this is all fine. So second main. And green for Eldrazi. Whatever you have in hand, you couldn't cast with 1, nor an Aether Vial of 3. So we'll take out the Aether Vial. Aether Vial's out, and we have 2 bodies on board, both with reach for Namor. You do not have Consign. And anything you could play for 1, I don't think I fear here. Cool. We got there. Whew. That was a close one. Yeah, Namor's pretty good. That will definitely buff the fish. That is for sure. Alright, let's run it back. Yeah, the fact that it just has flying, like, it gets buffed for the number of Merfolk, it creates a larger board, and it has flying. Like, yeah, it's really good. And also makes bodies that can be sacrificed to Flare or to Hexcatcher. That really does seem good. So definitely seems like a good addition to the Merfolk. So we don't have any acceleration outside of Talisman on 2. We have nothing off top. A Harbinger actually just bricks us on Temple. I think we have to pitch, like, yes, the Devour could find us a Rumble on 2 to accelerate into whatever we find, or a K command X equals 1 on 2. So, I mean, that is decent, but I think for this matchup, we need to mulligan this. Interesting. So we can do this. Exile Sprawl. Pitch Lab. I'll keep Pitch Lab. Done. Exile Sprawl. And pass. Mutavault. Aether Vial. We'll draw. Forest. Of course. I will play the Forest, cast the Talisman, and pass. Next turn we can play Speaker. You can also even guarantee resolution of Speaker. Aether Vial, Island, passing, Devour. So, well, that makes things more complicated, because I would like to keep this Cavern of Souls, yeah? We cut the Ice Till, so whatever we pitch to Yard stays in Yard. Because what I'd like to do is be able to play Speaker and accelerate into something. Because we could pitch Cavern of Souls and then accelerate into Mycospawn for the kick. Alright, let's start with Speaker. See if you have interaction to start with. Speaker resolved. You have the Consign. You do not. I will pitch Cavern Souls. It's not my favorite play, but we'll go Mycospawn. I'll then Lab, Imprint, Devour. And we'll pass. I don't like pitching that Cavern of Souls, but I think we have to. Aether Vial will bring in Mindspring. Yeah, Merfolk has steadily gotten some new cards, hasn't it? Mindspring, Namor. This is a bit softened to Harbinger, but the Mycospawn's still castable underneath of it, so that's why I'm not, like, horribly pressed. That's why I'm going for Mycospawn rather than something else, and we can always return to the Devour, which is nice here. So that way we can cast Devour even under Harbinger since we have the Talisman, as we can filter colors through speaker. So Devour is still on the table even if Harbinger does land this turn. Now, if they land it next turn, we're in a little bit more trouble if we do kick the Myco spawn. But I think we have to just go for it and go after the Mutavault. I think that would be correct. There is some thought to going for the island, of course. Did I cut Ghost Quarter? I did, yes. Oh. Opponent's thinking hard here. I mean, they clearly don't have Consign. If they had the Consign, I feel like they would have consigned the Speaker trigger. There's Perfect Springs Bolt 17. Passing. No attacks. Second main. We'll go to end step, draw K return, which is castable even under Harbinger. We will tap, we will untap. We're going to consign check. And Myco kick. Again, we go for the blue sources or for the Mutavault. I think grand scheme, the Mutavault is correct. And is this a consign replicated twice? It is. Okay. So they pocketed a consign to consign the whatever he pulled off of the speaker rather than the speaker trigger itself. Is what it is there. Not too much I could do about that. There's Master Pearl Trident, Aether Vial trigger. Can't do anything here, so we're going to pass in full. Do you have a Harbinger? Vials in Glasspool Mimic. That is concern. Oh my god, actually, that's very concerning. I was like, okay, like Master Pearl Trident, fine, we have the K return, and then opponent's like, yeah, about that. One card in hand, so they don't have force. We can potentially double K return here. So I suppose. Is there any reason not to now? I don't think so. So we're going to start with K return number 1. We're going to tap. We're going to untap. We're going to K return number 2. All right, the board is clear. We'll pass. Oh, we could just end up dying to this Mutavault, though. We'll see. 2 mana. Another Master of Pearl Trident. Jesus. I'll play the Forest and pass. We need to accelerate into this. Ooh. Oh, I should have returned the Devour. Okay, it's Neemore. Yeah, I should have returned the Devour, because if I hadn't, and that was a Harbinger, I'd have been big sad. I think I have to return the Devour. Well, okay. So I say we have to return the Devour, but the thing is, if it's a Harbinger, the Devour is null and void anyways. Yeah, I might just have to keep the Devour underneath Lab. But at the same time, if it's not Harbinger, we draw the Temple, we need to Devour, so we're gonna return Devour. We'll pass. What you got? Glasspool Mimic on Master Pearl Trident, that's 8 damage. Mutavault, that is lethal. Brutal. Yeah, not much I can do about that. GG's. Yeah, Namor seems pretty good, but also having like, what, 5 Master Pearl Tridents also seems pretty good. But with that being said, we'll be back for match number 5. Alright, and we're back for match number 5 on the draw for game 1. Hedge may start, makes me concerned that it's Neobrand. I'm not a fan of that. I will sprawl 4 green, unless you force. Do you has force? 4 green, and pass. So we're looking for lab, rumble, temple, flooded strand fetch 19. Flooded strand, hedge maze, godless shrine, 4 colors. What? Frog, 4 colors, frog. Oh, it's Goryo's. The one of hedge maze for so they can play Troxa. Okay, so that is what this is. This is Goryo's. Understood. I'm gonna play Esper Origins. Kind of wish this was a Fanatic Aronis right now, actually. Do you force? You do not. We see Devour Rumble. Problem is, next turn we're looking at Ice Till. So I almost want to... I almost want to get rid of both. I can only really keep one. I'm going to drop the Devour, keep the Rumble top. Commercial District Surveil, keep the Rumble top. And then pass. We'll pass. Frog will connect down to 21. Draw 7 cards in hand. Second main. Polluted Delta. End step. Draw. We'll play Wooded Foothill and fetch down to 20. Play a Forest and cast Ice Till. Does the East Till resolve? We'll play Wooded Foothill Mill. Verdant Cat to Yard will pass. Polluted Delta fetch 16. Surveil. So definitely Goryo's. Yeah, the Frog and Hedge Maze confused me at first, but they normally play a 1 of Hedge Maze so they can hardcast a Troxa. So it starts to make sense. Frog will float. That's fine. Frog goes the combat. No blocks. Down to 19. Opponent draws up to 8. Second main. Land for turn. Solitude. Exiling Felia. I don't think there's a reason for me to mill here. Oh, exiling Felia. Felia. Oh, hold on. What the fresh hell am I playing against? It said Felia, right? It did. Weird. Wooded Foothill fetch, Stomping Ground tapped. We'll draw into a Talisman. Let's start with Rumble. Do you has a force? Do you has a force? You act like you're playing force, but I don't know. Paying cost for... You do have force. I mean, I guess it could be Esper Blink, but that doesn't explain the Hedge Maze, right? We'll pass. Next turn we have Sire. I guess I could have played Esper Origins, actually. We'll pass. Yeah, because the Hedge Maze, again, continues to make me think Goryo's, but you don't play Felia and Goryo's, and that's what's confusing me. Frog will connect 10 and 19. Up to 6 cards in hand. I would like to dispatch this frog. We'll draw Lab. Well, now we can. They have enough mana for Solitude. I will Lab, no Imprint, and hold up the K command. Actually, I suppose we could hold up K command X2 while also playing the Esper Origins. Let's do that. Esper Origins, hold up K command X2, K return to Yard, Mega Spawn top and draw. Esper Origins resolves. We can sweep the board. Interesting. You could hardcast a Solitude. Polluted Delta fetch 14. Again, 5 cards in hand. Howled Fountain Shock. Down to 12? Nope. Opting not to. Paying cost for Felia? There's Felia. Sure. We'll hold. I'm just curious to see what they're going to... I guess they could try and blink my Esper Origins. Thoughtseize. In response, I think I need to go for the Felia over the Frog. I'll scry draw exile, me target Felia. Like, everything's telling me that this is Esper Blink. But the freaking, the hedge maze is just throwing me off. Do I pitch both here? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Bajuka Bog bottom, Temple top in case we draw into Emrakul. I imagine you take the Sire. We'll pass in full at this point. And I guess, yeah, it could be for just like pending. That's not, yeah, that's definitely a possibility. Huh. I can't imagine that you don't take the Sire. Takes the Mega Spawn, really? Okay. Plays Flooded Strand, fetch down to 11. You could hard cast a Riddler. White, 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 green? What? Solitude, exiles. Interesting. Why do this? Why now? Knowing that we can just sweep the board. Okay. We'll gain 4 up to 25. Esper Origins is down. Frog can now attack unfettered, but it could have just been jumped anyways. Frog will connect. But both Frog and Solitude are just going to get swept. We'll play Temple, since they already know about it. They don't know we have a second one in mind, you. So we do want to hold up color sources just to represent. K return trigger. Yes. Sweeps Frog Solitude. Sire will resolve, and we'll pass. So yeah, why play the Solitude there? That's peculiar. Paying cost. Passing. Okay. We'll draw. Paying cost. Solitude? Sure. Confused why you're playing Solitude now and not on your turn, but sure. Up to 31. Sure. So unless that's a consign in hand, this Sire's going to have pseudo hexproof. We'll pass. Unless you can either work around the ward or gain 4 life, we should be in a good position. And even if you are able to get around the Sire, I'm still at 31 life right now. So you're not exactly in a great position either ways. Casting. I guess you could Solitude. Target Solitude, Ephem Solitude. No, that still wouldn't be enough. I suppose you can Teferi, bounce Talisman, draw a card to try and find a solution. Does Esper Blink normally play Teferi? That feels more like a Goryo's card, right? Everything we've seen so far makes me feel like this is Goryo's, with the exception of Thelia. Huh. Yeah. I think we sideboard assuming this is Goryo's. Witch Bless tapped. I'll skip it up. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to sideboard assuming this is Goryo's and not Blink. Like, every card they played, with the exception of Thalia, makes me think it's Goryo's. Weird. Okay. Thankfully, I mean, it's not very different one way or another, right? So, Ghost Quarter out. Origin, Rumble, K return. I guess the only difference that I'd have to kind of wrestle with here would be to cut Ice Till or not. Because if it's Blink, they could have White Orchid Phantom in the sideboard. If it's Goryo's, I know for a fact they play 0 land destruction, so Ice Till can come right out. They did play 4, so Tremaine and Ugin feels right. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to kind of take a half-measured approach. We're still going to bring, like, regardless of whether it's Goryo's, we saw Frog, we saw Solitude, so Flute, Bauble makes sense. Heat makes sense because we're assuming they're playing Riddler. Trimming and Ugin makes sense because we saw Force. So based on the things that we saw, trimming these seems correct. We could cut the Bajuka Bog and keep the third Ugin, though. And let's do that. Screw it. We're going to sideboard based on what we saw, not what we think they're playing. I'll keep. I'll pass. Don't Thoughtseize me, bro. Blue or Floodstrand, fetch 19. Water Grave Shock. Thoughtseize takes Ugin. Gala Shrine Shock. Close enough. Unfortunate. So we lose out on our acceleration here. Though they could just take the K command, which I would be okay with. We'll see. Takes the K command. Yeah, I'm okay with that. So we still are able to accelerate. Ice Till, beautiful. So imprint, cast, and pass. Next turn we have the Ice Till. We'll pass. Island. No Frog. Could be Felia. I'll Windswept Teeth fetch for Unforest. Cast Ice Till. Windswept Heath Mill. Speaker to yard, and we'll pass. Easy to Felia. End step, blue-white Felia. Okay. So, yeah, that's fine. We'll hold. We'll fetch Surveillant end step. Casting Riddler. Warp, draw 1. Yep. So the question is, are they going to feed Felia? Nope, they're going to instead pitch Witch Enchanter for Solitude, exiling the Ice Tail. I have no reason to mill here, so that's fine. We'll let the resolve. So Felia will attack in, blinking the Riddler. At this point, they actually still have a land they can play, so I'm going to wait. End step, they missed their land drop. That's important to know. We'll fetch. Yield all. We will surveil. K command top. Yield all. So we are in a position now to force check or to consign check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one becomes interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can exile the Felia, but not the Riddler. I want to ramp into this Ugin is what I want to do. But I also don't want to expose the Ugin to White Orchid if we're assuming this is Blink. So we're going to Verdant Catacomb fetch. We're going to go Stomping Ground Shock. I'm going to ramp and exile Felia and force check. And, oh, that's not what I want to do. I just realized. I have to tap the lab, right? I don't have another color source. That's so unfortunate. Yeah, in that case, we ramp and exile and pray that you do not have it. Done. And pass. There's force, pitch, and consign. Okay. Well, not much I could do about that now, was there? There's Baelmerk. Baelmerk will see frogs and solitude. So in that case, maybe I should have went for the talismans. They're gonna play 2 talismans. Yeah, maybe should have went talismans after all. Because we could have played the talismans, then the K command, and then if we draw into a land, we could play the Ugin. Do we see a land? I hope we see a threat. There's a Troxa as well. How weird. There's Temple. Damn it. Yeah, so if we had went Talisman, Talisman, K command, we would have been able to play Ugin this turn. So we will concede. Unfortunate. So definitely looking much more blinkish. The Troxa confuses me, though. Alright. Yeah, because my thought there was if we kept the talismans in hand, the turn that we cast the Ugin, we'd be able to exile their board. But I think going to talismans first, which maybe would have gotten a K command at it, or getting a force out of hand, would have allowed me to resolve the K command. And if not, then at least that way we would have been able to then cast the Ugin if we drew into a land. So we definitely didn't misplay there, or I should have played the talismans just for that reason. Yeah, I think that's probably correct in the grand scheme. Unfortunate misplay. Now, mind you, do I think that the Ugin would have fixed the board state? Maybe not. Just given that we could have exiled, I guess, Baelmerk at that point. Ugin plus would have gained us enough life, but still have been a tough board state to be in. I'll keep. Opponent mulligans down to 6. Would love to see a rumble off top. Commercial district, surveil. Shifting top, pass. And pass. Watergrave Shock, nope. So no Thoughtseize, good for us. In that case, will start with the Bauble. Bauble resolves, no White Orchid coming up. I'll imprint Sire and pass. So forces now null and void. Opponent misses their land drop. There's Talisman, will pass. We'll consign check on their end step. What did you keep? So we'll consign check. Done. Bauble, rumble, bottom, top, draw. No consign either? Really? Goes to cleanup, pitches a Troxa, there's Flute. I mean, you are saying there's no consign of that hand of yours? I'm just gonna kick then. Myco kick, target Watery Grave. And opponent skips it up. What hand could you have possibly kept that was a 1-lander on the draw? I'm just trying to scrape my mind through what their deck is, and they don't really have much in the way of card selection or card advantage. I mean, yeah, I guess land Goryo's a Troxa Ethan, but like, again, we never saw Goryo's. So even though we saw a Troxa, there's no actual thought that this was Goryo's because it definitely played more Blinkish. So, weird. That was a weird match, no matter how you slice it. I'm gonna categorize that as Blink since we never actually saw Goryo's that entire time. Regardless, weird one. But that being said, that there will be the end of today's league with a 4-1 record at the end of 5. As always, if you did enjoy it, please do consider hitting the like button, comment down below if you did see any lines that I missed, any mistakes that I made, or any general feedback would be much appreciated. For as much that I hope you'll learn from me and from my success and failure, I hope I can learn from you all as well. If you have respawned the video and haven't already, please do consider hitting the subscribe button as we continue to grow this channel. However, if you'd like to watch these videos recorded live over on Twitch, I recommend following me over my socials or joining my Discord server. That way you can be notified when I go live. Otherwise, you can head over to my Patreon and find these videos ad-free and early. With that being said though, folks, I will see you next time. Bye-bye!